It's been roughly a month since credit amnesty came into effect. The removal of adverse credit information promised to scrap negative descriptions from consumers' credit records. Credit Ombud Manie van Schalkwyk is here in studio to give us an update. Manie, welcome. Good to have you.
Hello, good morning, Anne.
All right, let's start with the basics. The Credit Ombud, I think still people are confused what you actually do.
Yes, thank you.
What is the role?
Well, what we do is we're an independent organization which assists consumers if they have problems in two areas, and that is mainly in terms of credit bureau issues. So if they're listed on a credit bureau, number one, and number two, in terms of a credit transaction. Yeah. So, our services are free of charge, and people are welcome to contact us if they've got issues in those two areas.
All right. Okay. So it's a free service. However, I think that some people, when this credit amnesty came into effect, got completely confused. Some got completely elated, thinking that's it. My credit record is going to be cleared, and I don't have to do anything.
Yes.
How was the process once this was announced?
Yes, and maybe I can stand still for 1 minute just to explain what the project was, and that was the removal of the information on the credit bureau and some information on the credit bureau regarding defaults or negative information which was in a default section was removed. And I think you're quite right. There was an expectation from consumers, and we picked that up in the complaints that we received. Yeah. Two things that we thought is a misunderstanding or a misconception is that the first one, very importantly, people think that my debt has been pardoned, that they don't have to repay the debt. And that is absolutely not true. And if people stop paying their debt, they will get into more trouble. So that is definitely not the case. The second part is that people thought they will have, even people who have defaulted before, that they'll immediately have access to credit. Yeah. And that is also not the case.
That's not the case.
There were only sections of information that was removed. So from information which was in a default category of information was removed. But what was not removed was information which how you repay your debt on a monthly basis. So if you were 5 and 6 months in arrears with any credit agreement, that still reflects on the credit bureau. And the credit providers have got access to that information to make a risk decision whether they would grant credit or not.
Yeah, there must have been obviously some positives coming out of it. I mean, this must have come out with its desired effect. Is this correct?
Yes, I do think there are a lot of positives as well. And two that I just want to highlight quickly is the first one is that people they made the effort to go and look at their credit profile, and we saw a large increase in that. So I think that is very positive, because people have to have access and see what their credit profile is, and it's free of charge. You know, once a year you can get a credit report free of charge. The second part is that sometimes consumers or employers use credit bureau information for employment purposes. And I do think, because of the removal of the general negative information, that is not the case any longer, when employers do go into and look for credit information, that information has been removed. So I think that is a positive for employees.
How do you access your credit report?
Well, it's actually easy. You phone one of the credit bureaus, and you can go to our website, and there's links to that.
And the website is?
Our website is www.creditombud.
Okay, the creditombud.org.za. There we go. We got it. We have got it flashing on the screen. So there we go. It's up now. So go and visit that website. So you can. That's where you find a branch. Get in touch with them, and they'll send it to you.
They will actually get it to you. Yes.
Fantastic. That's easy enough. How bad is the debt situation in the country? I think that's important to look at.
Yeah. Well, I think if we look at the National Credit Regulator stats, we have about 50% of the credit active consumers, which are about 20 million in South Africa. 50% have got an impaired record. Well, that is before the amnesty. So that was about, you are either 3 months in arrears or you have a default or judgment listed against you. Is it out of control? I don't think so. I think it is totally within control. And the new National Credit Amendments Act makes provision for affordability assessments, which I think is very good. So I think there are a lot of positive stakes that's been put into the process to ensure that the South African economy or the population is not over-indebted to a large extent.
Fantastic. Well, sounds good, but I think if you need some more information, visit that website, because I think there's still people that need a little bit more education about it and to see where they stand with all of this. The Credit Ombud Manie van Schalkwyk talking to us about the credit amnesty since it was introduced. Thank you very, very much for joining us here on the program.
You're welcome.